So, Dhritiraj, what is the mythological significance of your name?
Sir, so Dhriti was the daughter of a Daksh Prajapati, and so actually it's a kind of a made-up name. So in the mythology, Dhriti was married to Yamraj, like he's called Dharmaraj. So Dhriti Raj would mean Dharmaraj, or the god of death, or the god of Dharma.
Okay. You are from Kamrup district in Assam.
Yes, sir.
So, does it have any relation with the Mahabharata?
Yes, sir. Kamrup district in Mahabharat, there was one king from Kamrup who participated, Pragjotishpur that was called. He participated in the Mahabharata from the Kaurava side. His name was Bhagadat, and Bhagadat was killed by Bhim, I think.
Yeah. And so you are engaged in when I see your graduation is from BE, Solid Mechanics Engineering. And how do you apply the blockchain technology in the solid mechanics?
So, blockchain technology in solid mechanics.
Yeah.
Sir, like blockchain is a distributed ledger. So, in solid mechanics, I think. Sir, I would have to think about it. I have no, I'm not sure how it would apply.
That's not a problem. And you did your post graduation with MBA,
Yes.
marketing, HRM, finance and design. Uh, so how this artificial intelligence is useful for the marketing operations?
Yes, sir. So, sir, artificial intelligence is very much the vogue, is the vogue thing of our time. In marketing, what we need to actually identify is that which revenue stream, which customer which segment, which segment to target, which user persona to carve out our persona for, like how to tailor our product.
Hmm,
Artificial intelligence would help us in refining the process. Till
hmm.
now, this process has been done by MBA graduates or like people like me, marketing consultant. It was done by people like me. But what would happen is that AI would actually refine the process, refine the user persona. But what do what job would we do? Our job would be to like give it the prompt. What kind of persona we are going for. What the AI would do is that put in front of us multiple choices, and we would have to select which one we should go for.
That's fine. And there is also one interesting thing like design thinking.
Yes, design thinking is actually problem solving very much.
Hmm,
So what we do in design thinking was that analysis and synthesis. So what AI would do is that again it would refine the design thinking process. So it would solve the issue at hand in a very compact, very airtight manner.
hmm. Uh, Design and thinking, they are not compatible actually. They are contradictory. You can't design how the people have to think. But you are saying that this thought process can be designed.
Yeah. So, sir, I would like to illustrate that contradiction. We can synthesize that example, these the contradictions. I would
Hmm,
like to illustrate it with an example that I learned in my MBA school.
hmm,
So it was the story is from PepsiCo. The
hmm,
PepsiCo was suffering from a problem that their chips, PepsiCo has Frito-Lays, their chips were not being consumed by women. They did not were not actually consumed by women. So
hmm.
how to so this was what they actually put it to design thinking, how to make their product appealing to women. What they went through design thinking was that women would usually go for chips which are less sounding, which were less noisy. So what PepsiCo did there was that they refined the Doritos to make it less noisy and make it more spicy. So this is actually what design thinking does. You have a problem at hand, and you would actually reform yourself to the issue. You refine the
Yes.
whole product, and then you make your product appealing. So that's how you can actually synthesize them.
So you are programming the minds through the design thinking.
Yes, sir.
So is it ethically correct to program the minds of the people like that?
Sir, I won't say that like exactly program it like it's not airtight programming. Ethically, we would say that like ethically how you we won't ask people like would a teacher say that would it be would you call it ethically incorrect if a teacher is teaching a student to go from to select one of the option that what he wants them what the teacher to select what he wants the student to select. Would you say that the student which is selecting an option, let's say fill in the blanks. He is a student who has been given a fill in the blanks, and it's a five-letter alphabet, and he has to fill up five-letter alphabet. It's an apple, and he has to fill up which one of the letter to fill the first gap with. The first gap is empty. It is written PPLE blank PPLE. Now the student has to select one of them, right? So would you now the teacher has trained the student to select A every time, and the student selects A every time. Now would you say that programming the mind of the student is ethically incorrect? I mean, the teacher is not forcing the student to select A every time, but student is learning to select A every time. That's what actually design thinking is. The people would like it, and they would uh, by autonomously gravitate to the choice that they want, what the people, the seller want them to select. That's what design thinking
What
is.
you are saying is this similar process is also done with the radicalization of a terrorist also.
Yes.
So the same process is adopted for radicalizing the terrorists.
I mean, like radicalization of terrorists.
They're also the
Well,
same.
so, sir, actually, radicalization of terrorists, I won't say that it's entirely, I won't say that it's the same thing. Like, what actually happens in radicalization is that the the victim, well, I mean the object, the man who is listening to those brainwashing information, he actually has some grievances. He has grievances, and he is bummed. I mean, how do I call his he has issues, and his issues are not getting solved. What what the brainwasher, the subject, what the man who actually brainwashing, what he actually does is that he feeds on to his grievances, and he makes expands them. That's not exactly healthy. That's not exactly healthy, but that's not exactly design thinking either. Okay, I mean the point is that it's
What you're saying is
yeah,
either programming the mind or brainwashing the mind.
yeah.
Process is the same, but goals are different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm suggesting that the goal is different, but also there's one hint of a like in the terrorist brainwashing thing. What the brainwasher is doing is that they are feeding on the what do you call it? The grievances and the incongruities of the society, and are feeding them to the brainwashed guy. But in the other case, when the teacher is teaching a student to fill up the blank every time the way he wants, it's not exactly feeding on the grievances. It's something he needs to do.
And I see that you're interested in political history of the modern world,
Yes,
especially in how nations of today took their current shape.
yes, sir.
And what is your stand upon the US deep state network during the last couple of decades, which is influencing the modern world?
Okay, sir. So I mean, um, the the jargon, the name that's usually gone for the deep state network is deep throat. I mean, that's the deep throat or deep state. That's deep throat. Let's call it deep throat because it's kind of a simple sounding word. So that what the deep throat actually does is that it usually goes for uh, uh, the US deep state network has multiple nodes all along the world. That's usually projected as a version of the United States foreign policy. Now, there are there are different level of interventions by the United States in other countries' internal politics. And most notoriously, it has been seen in South Asia, South America, and in the others, like in Southeast Asia, the Southeast Asia, as in Vietnam, as in Indonesia, it has been seen. My view is that sometimes it's necessary. Like say today's example, the 2022 Ukraine war. In Ukraine, in many cases, the deep state network was not actually involved. It was the jargon would be it was quite hands off. It was quite hands off, and that's why Ukraine, which was in the vicinity of Russia, actually got entangled in Russia's internal politics. Russia actually got to bully Ukraine on multiple times. That's usually the case. But what about the other countries that did not get bullied? Let's say Estonia, let's say Latvia, let's say Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. These states were not bullied, but and they were actually quite inclined to the United States network, United States cloud, United States political cloud. You see what I'm getting at? Like those guys who are not actually getting bullied by United States, they are getting bullied by the others. So would we call it that? Would we call it a like a failure of international politics, or would we call it a failure of US foreign policy? I think you would go for the latter because, I mean, the point is I'm getting at is that if United States is not getting involved, somebody else is getting involved. So it's not a, it's not a black-white choice.
So why they are interested in India particularly now in the recent time?
In India, actually, the thing is that currently India foreign policy is very much multi-alignment. So there's the 5S policy: Samman, Samriddhi, Samvad, Shanti, Sahyog. So these are the 5S of Indian foreign policy, and India has very much actually fended off United States political clout. There's always has been a view of the United States foreign policy discourse that India is a nation which needs to be treated with a little bit of more dignity than they have treated other nations. Why China? Why United States is interested in India is because its neighboring nation China. Today, the world is kind of moving towards a dipolar world, like the Cold War times, when on one hand we have in United States, on the other hand we have China, and United States interests and India's interests very much aligns to this time, and because of Chinese hegemony, Chinese growing hegemony. So that's why the United States is that much involved in India, interested in India actually.
And you are a purple belt in karate.
Yes, sir.
Suppose the UPSC wanted to allot you a service based on your karate skills,
Yes, sir.
not on the basis of your marks in
Yes,
the
sir.
test. So, being a karate player, what would you choose? What would be your first priority between IAS and IPS?
Between being a karate player, I would actually go for IAS, not IPS, because actually I think that karate is very much a peacemaking sport rather than a fighting sport. We actually tend to think of it as an offensive sport, but it's actually a defensive sport. In karate's name itself, we have the name empty hand, karate, empty hand. So that's why it's more of a defensive sport. And IAS is involved in upholding the peace of an area, and that's why I would go for an IAS.
That's fine. And how karate is useful to the society?
Okay, sir. So karate, like very much, my gravitating to karate was not actually for for fighting or something. My actually gravitating to karate was because I was I was suffering from asthma in a very young age, so I had to build up my stamina through karate. So that way, karate is today beneficial to the world. Today we have the example of people being couch potatoes. We have the example of brain rot where the your head getting rotten because of the consumption of online content time after time. So karate actually makes you distracted from those online contents. Karate gets you involved in physical sports. Karate increases your stamina. My height actually increased, my stamina increased. So that way karate could be beneficial to the world today.
And are there any programs, policies, or activities of the government, either government of India or the government of your state, for the development of this martial arts?
Uh, So for the development of martial art, Assam has a fledgling taekwondo culture, and Assam has a boxing culture. Assam has karate. Assam's karate culture currently is not that developed, but yeah, taekwondo actually, because taekwondo is an Olympic sport, that's why it's getting that much attention. The point is that we need to give these sports people a career as well. So as long as karate doesn't get involved, karate won't be actually getting a patronage. But as taekwondo, which is also martial art, a Korean martial art though, which also has a Olympic exposure, Olympic support, and that's why taekwondo is getting very much supported. And there has been many sports person. I can remember from the top of my head very many sports person in boxing like Lavlina Borgohain and Shiva Thapa, who are actually Olympic level players from Assam itself.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And one of your extracurricular activities, I see that you have contributed to a novel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are the basic qualities required to write a novel?
Write a novel, basic qualities. So, sir, first of all, vocabulary. I mean, what you are actually looking at is 80,000 or 80 to 130,000 word page, 80 to 130,000 word structure. So you need to have a vocabulary because you do not want to repeat the same word again and again. You have to you have to capture and keep the reader's attention. So you need to have a first thing is a vocabulary. Second thing is tenacity or stamina, as we like to call it. That's because the man has to sit down and write after day, pages after pages, go on and on. So that's the second thing. So vocabulary, something to fill the pages with, tenacity, the way to fill the page with. Then comes the story. The man needs to be creative. That's sine qua non, as a sine qua non, and because he has to build the whole structure, act 1, act 2, act 3, that he has to make sure that the reader's attention is captured time and again. He has to make sure that he is conforming to genre, conforming to genre, whatever the genre subscribe to. So that's the second, those three qualities are, really important.
That's fine. So your answers are excellent, and for every question you have the answer. But one thing that you keep in mind is try to finish your answer anywhere between 45 seconds to 90 seconds.
Okay, sir.
It is not like a watertight compartment.
Yes, sir.
Try to reduce your answer presentation below 1 minute or at the most 1.5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So what you have to do for that is when I ask you a question, make a list of the things in your mind.
Okay.
Make a list of the things. Like I have asked you about what are the qualities required to write a novel.
Yeah.
Then what you do is you just make a list of one. It requires catching the attention. You don't have to
Yeah.
explain it.
Yes, sir.
Second, how to get the attention. Third, what writing skills that you need to have.
Yeah.
Fourth, so like that, you will give a list of 4 to 5 items
Yeah.
where you don't have to explain each and every point. So that will
Okay.
be helpful to you to summarize your answer in just a span of 45 to 90 seconds.
Okay, sir.
Because there are 5 members, each member wanted to ask will be given on an average 5 minutes time.
Okay.
So in a span of 25 minutes, you will be facing around 5 questions from each member. So 25 questions you have to answer on average, 25 to 30.
Yeah.
On the basis of that, you'll be allotted 275 marks. Out of 275, you'll be given some.
Okay, sir.
So therefore, be summarized as much as possible.
Yes, sir.
And secondly, what you have to do is you have to uh, apply a GTG approach in analyzing every dimension of your DAF.
Okay.
The GTG means globalization, that is LPG.
Okay.
Then technology and governance.
Okay.
Suppose in every question that I have asked you, every question fell in any one of these three dimensional framework.
Yes.
Suppose I have asked you about government policy on the martial arts, right? That is related to the governance. So governance is related to policies, laws, or the programs of the government.
Yes, sir.
Then technology. At several times I have asked you questions to apply the technology. Like you are a BE solid mechanics engineering student. So I asked you about how blockchain technology is applied in the solid mechanics
Yes, sir.
and artificial intelligence and its application in the marketing operations.
Yes,
So
sir.
emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, data mining, or the 3D printing, robotics. So
Yeah.
how these aspects can be applied in your different dimensions of your entire details of detailed application form.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Suppose your mother is having industry of own business. I
Yes.
ask you what is the business, then followed by a supplementary question of applying this technology in the business,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And similarly, the other G is the globalization, governance, technology, and the globalization. So impact of globalization on these skills that the whatever that you have. So
Yes, sir.
suppose question about uh, US deep state network.
Yeah.
So that is a globalization orientation with reference to your hobby that you are interested in political history of the modern world.
Yeah.
So similarly, every dimension of your detailed application form should be thought from that point of view.
Okay, sir.
Like if, since you are from Assam, they may ask you about the Supreme Court judgment on Section 6A of the
Yeah.
citizenship,
Citizenship. Yeah.
right? Or from that answer, they may raise certain supplementary question,
Yeah.
like contradiction between having a universal brotherhood versus deportation of the foreigners.
Yeah.
So that kind of globalization orientation is brought even in the Assam related aspects.
Yes, sir.
And then this is the analysis of your detailed application form with GTG approach.
Yeah.
Then how you answer in the board. So your style of answering should be anything. There is no right answer, there is no wrong answer.
Okay. Yes, sir.
But your answer has to be natural and it should be justified.
Yeah.
So what is natural answer? A natural answer is that is not a manufactured answer. So
Okay.
manufactured answer means that you have forcibly learned from a coaching institute or from a mock interview.
Okay.
And 99% of the cases, they will not ask you a question that you will give a manufactured answer. So
Okay.
99% of the questions will be they will make you to think and give the answer. So therefore, as far as possible, avoid that learned answers from somewhere. And second aspect is it should be justified. Whatever the answer you can give. It can be leftist oriented or rightist oriented or
Yeah.
centrist oriented. Nobody will bother. The thing is how you have justified your answer.
Yeah.
Suppose for the question related to programming the mind, radicalizing the terrorist, all those things.
Yeah.
You are supposed to give that answer with a justification. So because there is a contradiction in your answer actually.
Okay.
So therefore you have to justify and uh, just the justification should come from two dimensions. One is the answer has to be legal and second ethical.
Yeah.
So it should be legally right and ethically correct. So
Okay.
suppose the example that you have given about the women eating the potato chips.
Yeah.
So that is a legal answer, legally right and ethically correct.
Yeah.
The same when it is applied to the terrorism or radicalization of the youth. So your argument is going in a different direction. So therefore, what you do is what we have concluded in that answer. From that perspective, you have to give. Saying
Okay.
The procedure is the same,
Yeah.
but ultimate goals are different. That we have to deal with,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
therefore, make sure that every answer should be exercised in a way that you are not giving illegal answer. You have to give the legal answer, legally
Yeah.
accepted, and it should be ethically correct.
Yes.
So that should be the way of analyzing your DAF with the GTG approach, justifying your answer with the legal and ethical perspective,
Yes, sir.
right? So if you make the exercise on those lines, and one more aspect, your answers have to be natural. Natural means honest in this context.
Okay.
Honest in the sense your body language should be honest. Your way of expressions should be honest. Intonations have to be honest. Modulations are supposed to be honest. Your facial expression should be honest. And your answer correctness should also be honest.
Yes, sir.
So that is what the natural answer is. Suppose you would have attended other interviews, mock interviews, and they would have suggest you to maintain a smiling face
Yeah.
or to maintain the eye contact with all the members. So
Yeah.
nothing wrong in that. When do you have the interview?
Sir, in April 9. April, sir.
10th
April. April.
April. You have ample time. Of course, 3 months time you have.
Yes, sir.
And these things, what is not natural to you, and what is actually natural to you. You cannot learn any one of these things, these suggestions, in just a span of 3 months.
Okay, sir.
So can you learn to maintain the smiling face throughout the interview by practicing it in just a span of 3 months?
Yeah.
Practically, it is impossible. That will not be honest also.
Yeah.
Suppose if there is a question like, what is your opinion on the death of Shri Dr. Manmohan Singh?
Yeah.
Can you smile on that question?
No.
It is impossible because you
Yeah.
are not supposed to. What is natural is according to the requirement of the question. Suppose if a member cracked a joke,
Yeah.
automatically we smile.
Yeah.
Nobody will have to force you to smile. Naturally.
Yeah.
So depending upon the situation, our facial expression, our body language will depend, will react. That's what the UPSC board will see.
Yes, sir.
So the total age of the board is 300 years, minimum 300 years.
Yes.
Meaning all of them are beyond 60 years into 5, means they are 300 years or more. So they can easily recognize whether you are giving a natural answer or an artificial one, whether your body language is natural or artificial, or whether your facial expressions are right or wrong. So they're all easily detectable. So they can recognize the artificiality and they can also recognize the intelligence. So therefore, be what you are in giving the answers. Don't
Yes,
force
sir.
any behavioral changes in the next 3 months.
Okay, sir.
So even if you force yourself to learn the behavioral changes, that will not actually operate over there,
Yes, sir.
because they ask you the questions in such a way that you react on them naturally.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, it is not. I don't know whether it is advisable or not. Be what you are throughout the remaining 3 months period. Learn the fundamentals of everything related to your DAF. Learn
Okay, sir.
the fundamentals of the current affairs.
Yeah.
Uh, Suppose such simultaneous elections.
Yeah.
The topic of simultaneous election. You learn the past, present, and the future.
Yeah.
So past means earlier when the simultaneous elections were conducted.
Yeah.
What are the committees? What are the recommendations of the Ramnath Kovind committee?
Yeah.
This is the past. Present, 129th Amendment Bill
Yeah.
is being referred to the
Joint
Parliament.
committee. Yeah.
And you should know the difference between when you learn these fundamental provisions, you can understand the difference between Ramnath Covid Committee recommendations and the 129th Amendment Bill. So that
Yes.
will be a question. What is the difference between the two?
Yes.
And future, you should also learn about the future. Future means from when, from which year that the simultaneous elections will be implemented.
Yeah.
The future of the issue. So suppose the same approach should be adopted even in case of 33% reservation to women in the
Yeah.
legislature.
Yes.
So such kind of things like national issues, international issues, and suppose US deep state network. Your answer is suitable but not adequate. You should know the realities of the US deep state network.
Okay, sir.
And similarly, if there is a question about the regional wars, Russia and Ukraine and
Yeah.
Hamas and Israel,
Yeah.
you should know the facts from both the sides.
Okay, sir.
Like suppose Israel and Palestine, who is right and who is wrong. To make a judgment about that,
You need to know the facts.
you need to know the facts about Israel. You need to know the facts about the
Yes.
Palestine.
Yeah.
Then you can come to the conclusion of giving a judgment.
Yeah.
So they may suggest, several people would have suggested you to give a balanced answer.
Yeah.
So as I told you that there is nothing like balanced answer. You will slip the balance somewhere. So what all you need to do is build your fundamentals very strongly.
Okay, sir.
So when you have the fundamental information, suppose if I ask the question like, uh, is Israel doing right in attacking the Palestine, in occupying the Palestine? Then mostly, majority of the people say that Israel is wrong.
Yeah.
But what the Hamas was doing, it is hiding behind the
Yeah.
structure.
Yes.
Terrorists are taking the civilians as the human shields.
Yes.
So you should keep that information also in mind. Not only listening the arguments of arguments of Palestine, you should also listen to the arguments of Israel.
Yeah.
That is the factual base.
Yes.
So then only we come to the conclusion. We should not come to conclusion like a social media judge,
Yeah.
being a civil service aspirant.
Yes.
Because social media, there are everybody is a judge.
Yeah.
They take this up, they take the side of Palestine or they take the side of Israel.
Yeah.
Suppose Israel is disproportionately killing the people in Palestine. They say like that.
Yeah.
But can there be any proportionality when you are taking the revenge? So because Palestine, Hamas have attacked Israel and killed 1,200 people and have kidnapped 250 people.
Yeah.
And even today they are not releasing them.
Yes.
So is it not an ethical responsibility of Israeli government to save those people?
Yeah.
Till saving the last person of these 250, should it not conduct the rights?
Yeah.
Should it not conduct the military operation? So there is no proportionality because you killed 1,200 of our people. I should kill another 1,200 people of you. There is no like
Yes. No.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
So till the saving of, as long as the Israelis are not released, there is no question of stopping the war by the Israel. This is the argument of Israel.
Yeah.
And you should know the fundamental logic of each and on each on part of either side.
Yes.
Then only you should come to the conclusion. That will be the balance, not balancing a judgment only from the humanitarian perspective.
Okay.
Suppose in Assam, judgment regarding the Section 6A,
Yeah.
people who migrated to Assam from the neighborhood countries.
Yeah.
So, from the humanitarian point of view, it is a fraternity, universality,
Yeah.
globalization. These are all the
Yeah.
things. But what about from the point of view of stealing
Native. Yes.
of the local people?
Yeah.
What about the rights of the local people?
Yeah.
So the judge who has given the judgment, will he be ready to accommodate any one family who has migrated from there? So it is not only viewing the things from the perspective of one community, who are assumed to be victims. It is also about considering the arguments of the other side as well,
Yeah.
who are suffering or who are who are not shown to be the sufferers.
Yeah.
So therefore, when your information is strong with the fundamentals from two dimensions,
Yeah.
then you can give a proper answer which is legal and ethical.
Yeah.
So that is the criteria to answer the question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So any question you want to ask me?
Sir, like my question was like I was kind of like fumbling, I think. Was I fumbling a little like I was getting like was that a little too much?
That's not a problem. You can improve upon in the next few days.
Okay.
We'll share you some questions,
Yeah.
right? Apart from what we have discussed today, apart from
Yeah.
that, I'll share you a PDF of a series of questions.
Yeah.
What you do is you try to develop your own answers.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Don't ask for the answers from anybody, including me,
Okay, sir.
so that you can give a natural answer and a justifiable answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.